Hello, today I'll be making a pair of doll-sized trainers for my Blythe dolls. I've made a copy of a Blythe leg out of polymer clay to help me design and fit my pattern. I have my pattern pieces here and I'm going to be using an unusual material that I thought would work well for this, blackout lining. It has a soft plastic coating on one side and doesn't fray, so it's lovely for tiny seam allowances at this scale. I've drawn around my pattern pieces for the tongue ×2 and the shoe upper ×2. I've drawn out some areas to colour in and I'm using regular acrylic paint. Once everything's dry, I cut out 2 tongue pieces and put them right sides facing together onto their other halves. I sew around both, leaving the bottoms open for turning once trimmed. Using tweezers and patience, turn them both right side out. Then I cut out both trainer upper pieces, following the original outline. Next, I use fabric glue to attach a length of embroidery thread to the opening edge of the trainer. I use tweezers to help it follow the very edge and trim the excess. Then, using just 3 strands of the same embroidery thread, I whip stitch around the glued edge and a millimetre or so of fabric edge, leaving a little gap at each edge, and I leave the thread attached for now. Here I wrap the upper piece around the foot and use fabric glue to overlap and close the back of the foot, being careful to overlap only a couple of millimetres. At this point I can continue whip stitching over the embroidery thread, leaving a nice flat finish at the back of the trainer. I glue the tongues closed and then glue them inside the trainers using tweezers. Next, I sew a running stitch around the whole lower edge of the trainer. Place it on the foot and add my sole pattern piece, cut out of very stiff interfacing. I pull and gather the thread to tighten around the sole, knot it and snip the thread, and run a little glue under the gathers to seal it to the sole. To create the outer sole, I draw around the shoes onto the back of a scrap of leather, cut it out and make a second mirrored copy. I glue the sole to the trainer and trim off any excess. I then glue some embroidery thread to the cut edge of the sole, going around twice if the thread is thin like this. This gives a neat finish to the join between the sole and the upper. Finally, I used a needle and embroidery thread to create the laces, using a tiny bit of glue to prevent fraying ends once they're cut to size. And here they are! You could of course use any colour combination or painted effect to recreate some brand name trainers. Perhaps add decorative stitching to add some dimension to the faux layers while the pattern is flat. And this coated fabric could be used to cut out and glue tiny details without fear of fraying edges. In fact, here are another couple of pairs of Barbie shoes I made a while ago, using polymer clay for the soles and for the toe of the trainers. Now, you'll find the detailed pattern I've used here available for free on my Facebook crafts page. Find the link in the description, and feel free to share your makes on my Facebook page or tag me on Instagram. Thanks for watching and subscribing. See you again soon. Bye!